Welcome back, loyal Claret-and-Cobalt listeners. I'm Mike, and yes, my brother Kevin is always with me, and you are with us on Into the Riots. Today we're going to be talking about how RSL stacked 21 shots, the unbeaten streak hits 4, the fight was real in this match, and this team still refuses to fold. Let's break down the chaos.
Because there was.
The chances.
There were so many chances.
And what this result means to Real Salt Lake, walking out of Snapdragon Stadium with a hard-earned point after a wild 2-2 draw in San Diego.
Manuel Sanabria, oh, what a goal! That's why he's still in the 11. Sergi Solans, the rookie. Good ball in, all the way across, and it's in! It's Victor Olatunji! Pablo Mastroeni once more. 2-2.
All right, loyal listeners, let's get into the riot and talk about what went down at Snapdragon Stadium. San Diego came back home after playing in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which they were not kicked out, but beaten by Toluca, and now their chances of winning that cup are no longer. RSL entered riding this wave of momentum and extended the unbeaten streak to 4. And RSL's attacking numbers just suggest that they should have taken all 3 points here, Kevin.
Yeah, I think so.
Was the 2-2 result in this match a success or a missed opportunity for RSL?
You know, I think I can see. I kind of look at it. I look at it both ways. I mean, you have 21 shots. We just need to put it away. And if with all those shots, if we even hit, I mean, obviously one more, we take all 3 points. But we're giving ourselves so many opportunities, and we just need to put it in the net. And we had that game.
It was a winnable match for sure, and I think in a lot of cases it might have slipped away. I mean, with 21 shots, yeah, we just got to finish better.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. We have to finish better, and that could have been a big win. That could have been a huge win.
I mean, having the point coming out of San Diego, I think it's a good result just because it is San Diego. They were hot last year. They continue to be hot this year. And I mean, it was a good hard fought game, like we were talking. I was watching the remix on YouTube, and I don't know if you've watched those, but they're kind of fun to watch. And they had our captain Cabral talking to the team in the locker room, and he quoted saying, "This type of game, we tell them, we tell this stage, we tell everybody in the MLS that we are going to be tough, a tough team to play against, that we are going to be one of the best teams in the league." And then he says, "Let's go." And I just, but listening to it in the video, it was just, that's your captain speaking, and they really did. They came out and they played well, and I do think we could have came away with 3, but I think we should be happy with a point coming out of San Diego.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, we've captured 10 points out of the 15 total that we could have in the first 5 matches.
Mm-hmm.
And we've played really the top of the West.
Yeah.
And so that's good stuff coming forward, I believe. Kevin, let's go down and kind of break down this game a little bit. Let's just start in the first half, or we probably should. And early on in that first half, I thought, it was a pretty back and forth match, but with San Diego having the upper hand in possession. And they really did kind of dictate play. And then in the run of play, RSL countered, as they have been doing consistently all season. And Sanabria, which I have to apologize for the way I've been pronouncing his name. Sanabria is the correct way. He crosses a beautiful ball into Solans for the go-ahead opener goal at about the penalty spot. It was such a gorgeous play, and it was just, it was world class. Really, it was what it was. That happened in the 16th minute, and then not 11 more minutes at the 27th minute. Ingvardsson cleans up a chaotic free kick sequence to level the game.
Yeah.
It's just, it drives me crazy. And the sport of soccer, football, is so annoying sometimes because I don't know, maybe we should only count the pretty goals. Because this goal that they scored was just a mess in the box. And then when they finally got the shot off that went into the net, it hit 2 Real players. I mean, it couldn't have been a more ugly thing to see.
Yeah,
especially as an RSL fan.
Yeah.
But to go back to the free kick, Real Salt Lake this year has had some real defensive concerns with set pieces. Is this an issue for them, or is this just bad luck?
Honestly, I mean, this last game, that goal that we're talking about, I think it was just, it really was bad luck. I mean, the first initial shot hit off Cabral's face, and I'm sure he was, kind of a little disoriented anyways. And then when they shot it back in, like you said, it hit off 2 of our players and into the net. I mean, there wasn't much Cabral could do, but it was ugly and it was lucky and it was unfortunate for RSL. So
yeah, it's just one of those things where I agree with you that it wasn't Cabral's fault. Unfortunately, I have to say the breakdowns were all in front of him. I mean, the defense has got to get their foot on the ball to get the ball away out of the danger spot. Get it out of your defensive third, especially when it's in that kind of type of situation.
Yeah.
But I will say this: RSL can't keep spotting teams with free kicks.
No,
not just the free kicks, not just to put the danger on the field and for them to defend them. They have to stop letting the goals go in, or they're never going to be able to climb the table like they want to.
Yeah.
So I guess my next question, Kevin, is the defense good enough for where Real Salt Lake want to go?
I think it is. I do think there's some weak spots in it, but I do think the defense is pretty solid. I mean, I think with Yedlin, I don't know exactly when he's coming back. I know he was kind of iffy this last week. I think he's close, but I think having a little bit more speed in the back, and I do think Quentin, he's not as fast, but he's been playing really well, and he's, I don't know if he's first team material. I think it will be good to have Yedlin back, but he really has served his purpose there, and I think that he's done really well for us. So, but I think the defense I think they're good. I don't think we have to worry too much. We just need to clean up some of that garbage that's been happening the last few games.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think the defense needs to have many changes. What Yedlin has is something that Philip doesn't have, and vice versa.
Right.
Philip has the height.
Oh,
Yedlin has the speed for sure. And I just, once they get that figured out, I mean, what one can do, the other can't as well. I mean, as far as the clearance of the ball from the head, I don't know. We'll just have to see how things turn out. It'll be good. It'll be good to have Yedlin back.
Yeah, and well, like we were talking too. I mean, a lot of our assists this year have been coming from the defense, and he's had 2 of them. So I
Yeah,
mean,
he's had 2
it's
of 'em.
hard. Yeah, it's hard to really say like, you know, who you really start and who you don't, because he has brought a lot of good things to this team. So
For sure. And that just gives you options
oh yeah,
and depth,
good
so
options.
that's
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yep.
So back to the match. After those 2 goals, the match kinda, I don't wanna say stagnates, but after the equalizer, it was kind of a back and forth. The 2 teams, they were figuring each other out. Both sides that, for the rest of the half really kinda struggled to finish because there were close calls on both sides,
Yeah.
especially one of the, a penalty kick that should have been called, in my opinion,
Oh yeah.
and RSL probably goes up 2-1 at halftime. But that is something we can't have back, and
Nope.
it didn't happen. So anyway, the match was very wide open. Pablo Mastroni, he had some decisions to make at halftime. He made one. You know, he also noted in his post-game show that his interview that San Diego, controlled the first half. So he kind of had to make a tactical adjustment and change which really did, in my opinion, change the mentality for the second half. Why don't you go into the second half a little bit, Kevin, and tell us what happened there?
Yeah. So second half, um, both teams came out swinging. I mean, um, again, still wide open. Um, I guess it was a little bit different energy from the last part of this first half where it kind of, like you said, stagnated. But Pablo brings Luna on, and that gives RSL a different energy right away. Um, having him out there. In the 54th minute, we had Gilavogi shoot and force their keeper to have a huge save.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes after, Dreyer on a counterattack chips Cabral to put San Diego up 2-1.
Fairly
I was
early.
Yeah, I kind of watched that clip again, and yeah, it was just I don't remember how the buildup was, but they were on a counterattack, and we only had a couple people back there. It was just kind of
Yeah, it was the one time, really, all season so far that we got caught. In the formations. We talked about the formation that could lead to things like that, and this, they've got caught probably twice, maybe 3 times, and this is the first time that they got penalized for it.
yeah. So I guess question for you, Mike:
Mhm.
Did Luna's presence actually stabilize the midfield, or do you think it maybe leaves us more open to the counter?
Oh my gosh, Kevin, that is a great question. Um, I don't know, because everybody thinks Luna as a attacking player, and that's what he does. But he defends. He wins balls. He causes issues for the other team when RSL's out of position.
Yeah,
I I think, I don't know. I'm gonna say yes, just on the fact that it's been a minute since he's been on the pitch,
yeah, that's fair
and
to
and
say, though.
and maybe he's more prepared if he has a couple more matches under his belt, playing with the boys that, because it's a brand new team.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah, yes and no. I know that's kind of crappy to give you that kind of an answer, but I think I don't consider Luna being a lazy player at all.
Oh, no, and I don't either. And I agree with you. I mean, it's kind of hard to really to tell, I guess, at this point in the season with him being out as much as he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it did change the shape a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And they just had to kind of get used to, you know, because he is a different style of player than you know.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, that put them up 2-1. And Varus makes some tactical subs with Eisner, Godoy, and Lewis Morgan. I think he was really trying to solidify that 2-1 lead and try to get that win, you know.
Yeah.
And then their goalie Free keeps them at that 2-1 for with just some he had some good saves in that game. And he had to, like we were saying. I mean, we have been shooting the ball.
Yeah. Well, you say he made some good saves. I think he probably made one or two legitimate saves. RSL needs to find the corners.
Yeah, hit the corners.
Yeah,
How many times have we been told that as in the youth?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's they've got to find some other spot besides right at the goalkeeper, because they had at least a half a dozen shots right at the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
this
that's
game
true.
legitimately, and we talked about this before, this game could have been 4-2 either way.
Either way, yep. And then, as RSL tends to do, they found a way back. In the 67th minute, Spearings comes on for Dylan, and Victor Olatunji comes on for Solans. Did you like the change by Pablo?
I did like the change because it gives. I don't know if Olatunji is any faster than Solans, but he's stronger.
Yeah.
And in that type of game, I think you need that. Dylan had a rough go. I think it was a little rougher game for Dylan.
Yeah.
But Spearings came on with the experience. I think more so because Dylan had a yellow card. I think Dylan was working it out, but Dylan had a yellow card. We didn't want to have that because our midfield works hard. Our midfield probably commits the most fouls on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to, because they're doing all the dirty work. They're winning balls back, and that's where we win most of our balls to get us back into possession, and then push up the field. We do all that in the midfield. But I did like the change by Pablo. Yes.
Yeah, and so on the 85th minute, the moment that put this match on tilt, Guy Lavogie crosses the ball and finds Olatunji far post. I think he hits it with his thigh, puts this 2-2, and our Jamaican Ronaldo goes and celebrates the way Ronaldos do.
Yeah, that was kind of fun to see.
Yeah, he's an exciting player, and this is exact reason Olatunji was brought on. What was these kind of goals,
Yep. Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see him get on the stat sheet.
Yes, it was. And then I think it was shortly after that, McVeigh was sent off. I think it was his second yellow, correct?
Yes.
And that pretty much was the game.
Well, we talk about Victor Olatunji coming in and whether I like that move or not. I wish that sub would come a little sooner.
Right.
Is all. But I have a couple questions for you, Kevin.
Okay.
Is Olatunji, should he be considered a super sub, or should he be starting?
It's hard. Solans has what? Has he played every
Every match.
Every match up to now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has 3 goals? I think he has 3 goals. They've been some pretty goals. Like it's hard. I know Olatunji was brought on, I think, pretty much to be our starting forward, our starting striker.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's done, even coming off the bench, that it's scary. Like, I don't think most teams are going to be ready for something like that, And so I'm not real sure if I don't know where I'd put him. I really don't. Because I think you need to try a few games with him as our starter and see if there is any difference or if he can produce the same as Solans has.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone is a little different when they come in and out of a game.
Oh, for sure. And each one of those top players have a different style of play. And Pablo is allowing them to do just that, is play how they want within the system.
Right. But I also think that regardless on how Pablo does it, I think it's going to be dangerous either way. Because even you think about Olatunji out there for 60 minutes of the game and running up and down, and he's a bigger body, and it's going to tire that defense out. And then Solans, this smaller, maybe, I don't know if he is or not, but maybe a little faster, and the same what he brings, it's just, I think either way, I think it's going to be dangerous for almost any team.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and with Solans and Olatunji splitting time, I think it's a great problem for Pablo to have, because I think what it does is you can go into, when you're looking at the next match, you can go into and say, hey, you know what? This next opponent has big, lumbering center backs that maybe Olatunji can freaking beat the crap out of for, an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then Solans can come in and beat him with his just pure speed and agility. Because Olatunji is more of a power guy, power speed. And on the other side, it's just more, I'm in and out, boom, 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 and you can't catch me. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting problem to have. It'll be interesting to see what Pablo goes on with and what decisions he makes with that position.
Yeah.
So going into my next question, Kevin, Pablo Monastroni felt like the team was a little unlucky to secure all 3 points. And they could have done that in the last few minutes. I mean, I already have my opinion about this, but they could have done that, in the last 10 minutes of the match to go and try to get that third goal.
Yeah.
And I think they did, but I think there's a lot of people that are asking the same question. Did RSL waste the advantage of San Diego's red card? Should have Real Salt Lake pushed harder for the winner?
Yeah, I do think that the red card came too late for them to really do a whole lot with it. But I think it comes down to what we talked about earlier. Even with or without that red card, we should have put it away. We had a lot of shots. We did shoot a lot of those shots right to the goalie. We just need to put them away. We need to get them in the corners. We need to be able to finish these games with or without a red card. But I still don't think that we didn't use that red card to our advantage. We had I think of maybe 10 minutes, like you were saying, and I just don't think. And at that point, I just think they sat back anyways. They put everyone back. They wanted at least the tie. They weren't going to give up another goal.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. They did immediately set back. They parked the bus, quote unquote, parked the bus. and it's tough to get through that. But what I loved, and if anybody questions RSL's motive or direction, they had their two center backs inside the center circle, between the center circle and the 18. They had them. They were pressing so hard. So if you don't think that Real Salt Lake was trying to go for the win, go back and watch the last 10 minutes of that match.
Yeah.
Because that to me showed them that, you know what, we're done. We're not going to settle for any more draws. And that's what Pablo said in his post-game interview. It's like, he says he talked to the one of the owners of the franchise, and they sat down and decided, yeah, we're no longer going to sit back and settle for ties.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go for 3 points every single time. And I love that mentality because it makes for better soccer to watch.
Well, and he has a team to do it. He has a squad to do it this year. We keep on talking about it, but they are deep, and it doesn't matter how young they are or not. Every single one of these players, when they've been put in, they've shown it. Yeah. They believe in the system, and they are working their butts off for it. And it's just been fun to watch because they do believe that they're in all these games, no matter where they're at.
Yeah, sure. So what do you think this point coming away with this 1 point in San Diego actually means for RSL?
Well, if anything, it keeps us moving in the right direction. You know, we could have got all three, but it keeps us up there at the top of the table, and it's got to. I think even though they didn't come away with all of it, I think it should give them confidence coming out of that city, that stadium with a point.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they did what veteran teams do, and they worked back into the match. I think they did a good job showing their perseverance, and they never quit. They never quit.
Yeah, and then it also shows that RSL they're not going to fold to any team. Even in a hostile, sold out San Diego Stadium, old versions of this team might have folded, but this team is all about trying to get the result. They're going 100 miles an hour, just trying to get it.
Yeah, fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. Even Pablo in the post-game interview, I think you kind of touched on it too, but he was talking about how this team believes that they can win any game that they're put in front of,
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I talked about this last episode or not, but he said it again, that he just feels that there's something special about this group, and it's on them to maintain this level that they're playing at and to see how far they can go with it.
Yeah, Kevin, can I say one thing? Just to go on top of what you said about this Pablo thinks this team is special. He also said in this last interview, where it's not just this team is special anymore. The players are starting to believe that this team is special. Yeah. And so if that starts happening, I mean, I've been involved with a lot of teams, and when they start believing in each other and trusting each other, my gosh, the sky's the limit. Right. I mean, they can blow the top off of this league if they wanted to, if that continues to grow.
I mean, they really could. I mean, just like, the last two games. So, we've had over 20 shots on goal in each of those games.
Yep.
But again, it's the 7 on target. We just need to get more on that goal,
Yeah, if we could just put 25% of those away.
Yeah. Right. And it would have been scary to see that.
Yeah.
But all of this is just a result of our growth. But yeah, I mean, we just need to. It's just they need the reminder to finish. The finishing needs to be better. That's the biggest thing I think that they could take from this game is just their finishing.
For sure, that's the thing they need to fix. They need to fix that, and they need to fix their set piece, the defense on set pieces.
Yeah, yep.
They do that, they're going to be so button tight that it might be scary to watch them, like you said.
Yeah. So yeah, they're since the first game that we lost, we've been unbeaten, and it stays alive. And I think this team is on all horses, full of confidence, ready to go going into this national break, which will be good to have for some of these players still nursing some injuries.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just kind of wrap this up and put a bow on it. Let's go back for just a second and just kind of look at the entire season. First 5 matches really kind of seem like a blur. I can't believe how fast this has gone already. This one match in San Diego versus SDFC, it kind of feels like the first 4 games all in one, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because RSL generated 21 shots, where they're doing that almost every match now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
7 on target. They had 8 corners, so we know that they're attacking, and their mentality is to go, 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 go.
Yep.
The team mentality, Olatunji says they're not playing for ties. So it's not just the coach that's saying we're not playing for ties. It's the players are starting to do that too. They're starting to have that same mentality. The unbeaten streak continues, but man, missed an opportunity for a statement win on Sunday. And the other good point about it, though, is San Diego dropped home points for the first time this season.
Yeah.
And probably really for a minute, even, going back to last season. They don't lose very often at home.
No.
Or they usually collect 3 points at home most of the time.
Yep.
So that helps RSL in the same way, where we split the points. And now the MLS is heading into an international break. Something I really think that the players need is a break to kind of solve some problems, get everybody completely healthy, go into after the break at 100%. When they come back from break, what does Real Salt Lake have in their future?
Well, next up, we come back home and we host Sporting Kansas City on the 4th of April. And I think this break is a good chance to reset, regroup, and build on our run that we're on.
Because it's a good one.
It's
a good one.
And just kind of to go back, Mike, are you more worried about the missed chances or more excited that we're actually creating 20 plus shots on the road?
I'm going to mess your question. I'm not worried about the missed chances. I think that's going to fix itself. What I'm more worried about is fixing the defense. Sometimes that's harder. Sometimes that's harder to fix than putting goals in the net. The goals are going to come. The players up top are too good not to fix that.
Right.
But sometimes it's harder the communication. There's a lot of moving pieces on the defense. And people always kind of mock me for saying, "Oh, it's harder to play as a defender a lot of times than it is an attacking player," because the attacking player, they really get to dictate what happens. They're the creators. Defenders aren't creators. They're the ones stopping the creator. If you really, but that's kind of my take. That's kind of my take. I'm not worried about. They're going to come. The goals are going to come.
And can you? I mean, just think of what is going to happen with Guy Lavogie when he starts putting them away.
Yeah. I think he's just got to get comfortable.
Yeah, just his passing alone right now. I mean, it's so pretty to watch.
The thing of it is, with his passing, Kevin, is we don't just have one guy that passes like that. We've got probably 4.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that comes with these with Gila Vogie being a veteran. I mean, I'm sure these guys are picking up stuff that they see from them,
100%.
So, I mean, it's been so fun to watch, and I think that this team is really coming together. They seem to be really getting along with each other, and I think that helps with the club. So,
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, with Kansas City coming up, Mike, any interesting facts about them?
Oh yeah, I'm a nerd, and I always like finding the weird stuff or interesting stuff, whichever how you want to look. So I'm glad you asked. Kevin, do you know what the name of the original soccer club in Kansas City was? Back in the day, even before MLS.
No, I don't.
Well, it was Kansas City Wiz.
Okay.
But because of legal action from a local electronic retailer named The Wiz, they forced the franchise to change it to Wizards. So before the MLS, it was the Kansas City Wizards. And I'm old enough to remember that. So I just kind of dated myself. That was my mistake. But so that was my first fact. And on top of that, it wasn't until 2011, the season 2011 and 2012, that they had adopted the name Sporting Kansas City. So it's actually the acronym for Sporting Kansas City is SCKC, and that's Sporting Club Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
So that's their official name now. And that's what the SC on their badge is for, is Sporting Club.
Okay.
The second one, everybody knows who Patrick Mahomes is.
Sure.
He is a part owner in the Sporting Club Kansas City ownership club. And he joined in July of 2021, so not too long ago. And I think, I'm not sure, I'd have to look this up, but his wife, she owns a percentage of the women's club in Kansas City also. So they've kind of grown their roots there in Kansas City.
Just to kind of add a little bit to that, I was talking to my son-in-law, Carlos, and he was talking about the San Diego team and how the San Diego Padres, like a lot of the team has put money into helping the soccer club, and a lot of them go to like almost all the games.
Yeah, and I did remember. I was there when that conversation was going on, and yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I like when all these other sports, show interest and support to the other sports.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So last little tidbit for Kansas City. They played the coldest ever MLS final. Do you know who they played against?
I'm just gonna stab at it. Us?
Yes, that was a sad day. The temperature through most of the game was 11 degrees.
That's crazy.
And I remember the commentator saying that in the second half, when Nick Raimondo was in goal, that whole goal mouth, that whole 18-yard box was basically ice. And that, again, I'm going to say that was a really, really sad day. They played to a 1-1 draw and lost on PKs. But I don't want to talk about that anymore. So what can you tell us, Kevin, about the upcoming match versus Kansas City?
Well, first of all, they're coming off of a bad loss to Colorado Rapids. They lost 4-1. But, this team, they're still talented. They're inconsistent, but they're talented. They have weapons up top. And I'm gonna butcher these, Mike. Is it Shapi?
Shoppy.
Shapi and Dejan Jovelek?
Jovelix, yeah. Yeah. And listeners, we're gonna have to come back and apologize for the butchering of these names. We will find the correct pronunciation of them.
But their defense has issues, and I think that's where they're gonna struggle with that back line. And their chemistry is still developing, but with some of these teams with it being early and a lot of them have new faces, sometimes it's hard.
The new pieces make it.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, but our back line also, we can't take anything for granted. We drop the ball a little bit, and those two forwards, they can punish us real quick.
Mm-hmm.
With our volume of shooting that we've had this year, we could really overwhelm Kansas City with with what we could be throwing at them. We just need to dictate the tempo in the midfield. But and that's the thing with this Kansas City's back line. They do push high, and I think we have a lot of speed. And I think with Kilavogi and Olatunji, I mean, even Gozo, we can make them pay for having a high back line there.
Yeah. They send their fullbacks, which the outside backs, and they do this similar thing that we do at our Real Salt Lake. And yeah, I think the players that you mentioned for Real, they're gonna find space behind those guys. And
yeah,
it might be a track meet for most of the game.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if I'd want to be in that one with some of our speed.
Mm-mm. So,
but yeah, I mean, so Kansas City, they're a little wounded right now, but they're very unpredictable. They're very dangerous up top, a little shaky in the back. But I think if we can attack with the same volume we had in San Diego, it could be a big game for us.
I think so too. Well, Kevin, I think we're about out of words. So I think that's where we're going to leave it today. Claret-and-Cobalt faithful, Real Salt Lake walked out of San Diego unbroken, unbeaten, and unbothered for the fourth straight positive result. They had 21 shots, and this team continues to refuse to fold. Rest up, reload, and get loud, because on April 4th, the riot rises again. For Kevin, I'm Mike, and you've been with us on Into the Riot. Just because RSL doesn't play doesn't mean we won't be here for you next week. We will. Remember to follow us on social media and on your favorite podcast service. Spread the word. Tell your friends about Into the Riot. Stay loud. Stay loyal.
Vamos Real.